watching The Sports Spin, presented by Uinta Basin Healthcare. Health and healing, every person, every time.
Welcome to The Sports Spin, your weekly dose of sports action, presented by Uinta Basin Healthcare. I'm John Nerden, and with me is the new and improved, beardless Mark Mason, also dropped 24 pounds. We watch the games, we call the games, and now we get to spin the games.
Today on Season 2, the premiere episode, we're going to take you back to some of the greatest games that we've seen in a long time here in the Basin, including the Basin Bowl, as well as key games for Duchesne and Union football. We'll bring you our L&L Monster replays and talk with Coach Heaps. So, John, let's dive into the Week Rewind.
Sounds good. Mark, on this rewind, we're going to talk a little bit about the Basin Bowl. If you're a Uinta fan, it was a great year. If you're a Cougar fan, yeah, a little tough.
Cover your eyes, because the carnage was on the field, getting right into the action, and right off the bat, there was 2 turnovers.
One each direction.
Gave, and then Uinta gave right back. And then, so you think it's going to go like that all game long, but then it turns into this. That's a catch by Leyba on the sideline, and all night long, the Utes kind of just put the ball wherever they want. There's a bobbled catch, touchdown by Corbin Allen. Here's a Coy Jackson with a huge kick-out block, springs Cruz Leyba.
You know, one of my favorite plays that's coming up is the fake PAT.
Oh, we'll call that the Charlie Brown.
The Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
And I don't think they let the kicker know, because Trevor McCagney, he actually kicks it and falls right on the ground. They pick the ball up, go the other way, score the 2-point conversion, and it went like that all night long for the Utes. They put in a sub quarterback,
yeah,
touchdown. Bullet, touchdown.
2 touchdowns.
You know, just right in the end.
And by the way, I think we know something about that, because that was running up the score. We'll talk to Coach Heaps about that.
We'll see what happened with that.
But Basin Bowl, the Utes
49-0.
Yeah,
game
not much
over.
To say other than, wow, the Utes looked impressive there. The Utes are 3-2 on this season, and you know they're rolling right now. They've got a homecoming game coming up tomorrow.
Tough
night.
one against Springville.
Yeah, and Springville's ranked number 4 in the state, I believe. Is that right?
That's correct. In 4A.
In 4A, so
I think number 10 overall.
Big challenge for the Utes coming up. Let's move on next. Why don't we go to Richfield Union? And this is a game at Union against Richfield, and there was not a lot of good for Richfield. You see a big pickoff right there, diving pickoff.
And we're going to talk about this play a little bit later, but look at that nice touchdown run.
The
after the
DB
big
falls
catch.
down, and Burchill just gets to the corner before anyone else can. And here's a case where the defense just seemed to know what Richfield was going to bring every time.
Part of that for me, Mark, was they had Burchill as the backup quarterback to start the year. Kelly went down. He comes back in this game, recovered, but they leave Burchill at the quarterback, and they have 2 quarterbacks basically playing and 2 running backs.
Yeah.
So they can use him, interchange him however they want. And I think that was really tough to compete for Richfield.
And you saw the natural athleticism of Burchill. Just that we had a replay. It was only 5 yards, but they had him snuffed out twice. He just danced left, he danced right, and then he's in the end zone. He's so agile. What a great second option to have on that team.
And we can't say enough about Kafusi.
Yeah.
2 goal lines, 8 straight stops within like 6 inches of the goal, and they stop him, and just.
And you and I knew coming out of a timeout that Kafusi was going to stop it.
Kafusi's
and the only
guy.
one that didn't know was the coach on the other team.
No.
He ran right at Kafusi. Kafusi stonewalls, and we gave him player of the game for that play alone, and the other great things that he did. But that was a great game to be at. Union looking better than they did earlier in the season.
Yeah, that was a good win for him.
So turning it around, going down to Duchesne. They had North Summit on their home field, and this is a big game. And after the game,
look at the tip.
Oh my gosh! And that play, John, when it happened live, the second tip was a Duchesne player. He intentionally tipped it forward to.
So he just
he looked volleyball. He celebrated before he'd even turned to go score that touchdown. And you see here, and this is one of the plays with one of the things about Duchesne is it comes at you from 5 or 6 different playmakers, and they continue to roll and roll and roll.
Duchesne is all football all the time.
All the time. And, you know,
ranked number 2 right now. Kanab got him, you know, so they have to battle to get that championship this year, but that's what they're going for.
Yeah, and we had a Facebook Live post. If you want to check that out, it's on VTV's Facebook with Coach Cowan after the game. And I've never met a more intense man. He paced in the trailer back and forth. He was on a full sweat in the interview talking to me. We're going to have him on the Sports Spin later on the show, later on in the year. What an intelligent coach, but a passionate coach.
They're very passionate. They're all passionate about their football over in Duchesne.
Right.
Mark, now it's time for the L&L Monster Plays. So, Mark, why don't you start us out? You were at the game with Kickers Paradise.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that was actually on other news stations reporting this.
Yeah,
this
KSL
little
picked
play.
this up. This is Snow Canyon visiting the Utes. It's down to the last 10 seconds. They get to the right hash mark, which is Trevin McCackney's favorite spot to kick from. They go from down to winning their first game, and they do it in dramatic fashion, 20-19 against Snow Canyon. And you know, you're the kicker. That's the moment you gotta want. You gotta want to be able to be the guy that comes onto the field.
When you're talking to your coach and you're saying, hey, I'm thinking in my head that this is winning the game. This kick is the winning the game. And you focus on that, and then you get that opportunity, game one.
Game one, he hit that field goal. My head nearly popped off my shoulders. I was so excited. I screamed and yelled in the microphone. I was hoarse for 2 days after that. Trevin McCackney, Kickers Paradise. Check us out on Instagram where you can vote, or Twitter, all over. We'll have those videos up later. But let's go on to the next one. This one we're going to call Tip Drill. It's Duchesne against
North Summit. We talked a little bit about it, but you see it here again, and there's that tip, the second one, right to his buddy. And they just handled the ball, and it's amazing. Again, that's just great awareness from a player there at Duchesne.
Talked to Coach Cowan after the game. He says, about time we got one of those. Those always seem to go against us. But the second tip, like you said, it was a terribly overthrown ball. It was actually a ball that was like 3 yards over the intended receiver's hands. Hit the defender in the chest, pops it straight up in the air. The second defender looked forward and tipped it like a volleyball setter and went like this.
I just said,
as
yes,
soon as he saw it catch it, and he knew it. He knew that he just made basically a second forward pass. So that's Tip Drill. If you're from Duchesne High, you want to vote for that one. We'll have it up again, Instagram and Twitter.
Very good.
Yeah, there'll be a couple places for you to vote. One more. Let's go
off to the races. This is Union. We did see this play a little earlier as well, but here you see a great pass, a great catch, and a great finish.
You know, and those catches are hard because the DB's making contact with you as he's falling down. I understand that he fell down, and that's why Burchill scored that touchdown. But still, you're dealing with all this contact hitting you in the legs, and you're still concentrated on the ball. And then after you catch it, you got to beat the safety that's coming over, and he had a good angle, but Burchill was just faster.
Well, and all the kids at Union, they're very athletic. They're an athletic bunch, and they love their football in Roosevelt. And they've worked really hard to get where they are, and they're having a decent season. You know, their wins and losses haven't really shown as good as they've become. A little bit of struggles with quarterbacks going down, but they're ready to go. They're looking good. They're going to win some games now. Big shout out to the kicker, leading 3A. Got the most points in 3A and doing a great job with kicking, Jace White.
Jace White, there we go. Okay, so check us out on Twitter at the Sports Spin. We're also Sports Spin, I believe, on Instagram. We're going to have those videos up, and you can vote for your favorite play. We're going to take a break here on the Sports Spin. We'll be right back.
I'm Amanda Hartman. I'm the new Director of Nursing here at the Villa. Here at the Villa, it's far more than a nurse-patient relationship. You truly are like a family. We have a community here, we have neighborhoods within our community, and we create lasting relationships that mirror that of our own families.
We're kind of just one big family because we're their sole providers, and we spend a lot of time with each and every resident. Even our rehab patients are here for months at a time, so we really create a family-like environment with them also.
We're back on the Sports Spin presented by Uinta Basin Healthcare. Now it's time for the spin cycle. Well, we're on the spin cycle, and John, it's just the tip of the iceberg here. We've got Coach Austin Heaps with us, and Coach, congratulations on so far what's been a great season, 3-2, tripling win total from last year, and you guys look like the real deal this year.
Yeah, it's going well. Boys are playing well. They've bought into kind of our off-season, I guess you want to call it, goals, and they've bought into them, and I think it's paid off thus far.
Yeah, and you talk about off-season goals. I think you upped the ante because your first game, it was an extra game. They have a word for it. I don't know what it was now. But you bring in a St. George team, Snow Canyon, and usually you think of St. George and you think, oh boy, we're going to get drubbed. That's what I thought when I saw it on the schedule. No, it's not a drubbing. You win that game, and you win it with, dramatic fashion. Yeah,
it was a fun game to be a part of. I mean, a little bit stressful. It was, but it was good to get them up here, get tested early, see what our boys are made of.
What was stressful about it?
Anytime that you go down 14-0, you have to come back and take the lead, and then not only that, but then give it up late in the second half and have to put together a drive at the end of the game.
So you worked so hard in the off season, you prepared, you worked all last year and then built a program in town. It's a new program. Kids are coming. I see you guys working way hard, early mornings, every single day, all summer long. And you come to that first game, you felt probably pretty prepared at the start, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Felt really prepared at the start, and then you have second or third play, we have just a little bit of, a lapse in judgment. Running back goes the wrong direction for protection. Quarterback gets hit, ball's picked, take down inside the 20. And then it seems like just a couple plays later, they punch it in. A couple plays later, we turn it over again, and they march right down there and score again.
So do you sleep at night, or do you just think about these plays because you've got that on the back of your mind like it was just right there?
No, it's something that it definitely was. It stayed on the mind, because especially in our region, we can't be making little mistakes like that. They come back and haunt you.
Definitely a little tougher region now with the 4A, and our region specifically has some tough players in it. Speaking of tough, what do you think about tomorrow, this Friday night's game?
So with tomorrow night, with Springville coming to town for homecoming, they've got a lot of size up front. They got a lot of speed on the outsides, and we're gonna have to play a pretty flawless game, to win.
Yeah, talking about flawless, you go down 14-0 in your first game, and I saw some poise come out of the Utes that maybe I'm not used to seeing. Adversity would strike, and in years past, a little bit of a crumbling mentally. Talk about the leadership on your team, and what are those boys doing on the field to help keep the team strong and focused on the goal?
And that was, one of the things we talked about with off-season goals was to improve our mental toughness. We had a number of games last year that we seem to have, halftime. Spanish Fork we were tied. Salem Hills we had the lead. So we had a number of games that we were in, and just kind of something bad would happen, and our boys fell apart. And so that's the one thing we worked on a lot this offseason, was improving that mental toughness. And I think, with the Snow Canyon game, Payson, we were down at halftime. I think it's paying off.
So we'd be remiss not to at least ask you a little bit about the Basin Bowl. Oftentimes it goes back and forth, and Union has their turn, and this year was definitely your turn. I know we talked a little after the game, and you had some just a dominating game. You won the game 4 million to nothing or something, I don't remember. You just kept throwing bombs into the end zone. Frustrated the other team just a little bit after. I know you didn't put the backup in there to throw those bombs, but what happened with that?
That was a kind of a lot of a lack in judgment. We put the second team in, and I think we got some players in there that we're excited. The game's going well. They're in.
It's their Basin Bowl too.
It's their Basin Bowl too. And we had a quarterback change the play. We had, some things that we're not aware to the coaches.
I talked to Brody, and he said, I saw the guy just waving down there, and I just threw the ball. And sure enough, touchdown in the end, late in the game. And it's quite fun for everybody to get involved and see that. And you guys had a good game.
Yeah, and I always say with that is, they don't like it, stop it. And you never want to say that when it's the other, Basin Bowl, it's Union, but it is football. You got to play till the end whistle. So great to have you on the show. We're looking forward to great things coming from you out of UNA. 3-2 this year, homecoming game.
Good luck, Coach.
We got good things happening.
All right.
Thanks for spending time here on the Sports Spin.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back. It's time for the calls of the week. So, Mark, it's my favorite segment of our show. We just finished up with Coach Heaps, and now we're going to do a little battle between you and me. That this is the first show of the second season, and I remember winning last year, the calls of the week.
Well, that's
you were in
only
second
reason you
place.
remember that. It's kind of like a woman with childbirth. She remembers the good parts, but not the bad parts. Because I clearly won. Doesn't matter. We're season 2. It's not what you've done for me in the past.
What have you done for me lately?
Here we go. So right off the bat, let's dive into the National Football League, where the Patriots are on to a third-string quarterback.
Well, do they have a third string?
I don't even know.
Who's available? I heard Tebow.
Tebow?
Why don't they get Tebow?
Tebow time.
So for me, I'm going to go with that they are going to get someone outside of the organization.
You're going to go outside of the organization?
New quarterback, outside the organization.
I'm going to go with, no, they're staying in-house, because not only do they have a third-string quarterback who played and looked okay, I don't even know his name. He just was
He's the third guy.
But they also have Julian Edelman on the team, who was a quarterback in college, and that guy could go in and they could go to a wildcat formation, and it doesn't matter who they put on the field, because they have Coach Belichick, and the Patriots always win all the time. No new quarterback. They stick with what's on the roster.
Okay, and if they do get Tebow, I get extra points for that. Because think about it, he's a great 2-game guy. Because in 2 games,
and I have a little man crush on him.
Yeah, you do.
So I'll give you the extra.
Okay, sounds good.
So Patriots, no.
So I got Tebow, you got staying in-house.
Staying in-house. Okay.
All right.
Next, we got Springville coming to UNA, and Springville 10th in the state, 4th in 4A. Is the clock going to run is the question. Are the Utes going to get mercy ruled? And I'm taking the lead on this one. No, they're not going to get mercy ruled. The Utes are going to compete. It's going to go down to the wire. I think it's a 7-point game, and I'm going one step further. I think the Utes win this one. It's homecoming.
Well done, well said. So I'll go against you a little bit.
Yeah.
The clock's not running. Coach Heaps has these boys playing good. They're ready. The clock's not running.
There's no chance.
I don't believe they'll win the game, and I don't think it's going to be a 7-point game. So you said under 7, and the Utes win it. I say over 7, but no clock.
No clock. Okay.
We both go no clock.
All right, so there you are. And since I'm going to win the first one, you might get that one, but I'm going home team. Go Utes.
Well done, Homer.
We're going to go now on to...
Thanks for taking away the Homer.
Juan Diego at Union. What's the call? Does Union win?
Yeah, it's a straight up Union or Juan Diego.
This isn't a point spread. This isn't anything like that.
Nothing
who
like
wins?
that. Just who
Cougars
wins.
win.
Oh, then I'm going Juan Diego for sure.
Cougars win.
I get that one.
Juan Diego's on a down year. They're 1-3. I realize they've played some big schools.
They have played some big games, and it's Juan Diego.
And it's Juan Diego.
I hope to lose this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go against you. Pick Juan Diego.
You know you're getting booed out of the stadium.
I hope so. They're my favorite. I love to call them.
You're going against the Utes and the Cougars. You're done. You're done in this town.
All right,
you might as well pack your bags and go.
I just want to beat you. I don't care about all the others.
Doesn't matter. So there's your calls of the week. We're going to be right back with the Fast Dash.
I'm Amanda Hartman. I'm the new Director of Nursing here at the Villa. Here at the Villa, it's far more than a nurse-patient relationship. You truly are like a family. We have a community here, we have neighborhoods within our community, and we create lasting relationships that mirror that of our own families.
We're kind of just one big family because we're their sole providers, and we spend a lot of time with each and every resident. Even our rehab patients are here for months at a time, so we really create a family-like environment with them also.
Welcome back to the Sports Spin. It's time for the Fast Dash.
Well, we're here on the Fast Dash. We got Cruz Leyba of UNA High School fame. Cruz, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
You've had a great season, some amazing runs, catches, whatever you want to do, and great defense as well. So on the Fast Dash, the format, John, you got something to say.
You know, you see this guy out there on the football field, and then he sits between us, and he's just this big.
Yeah, what do you
and
weigh?
out there, he looks like a giant.
Yeah, how big a boy are you anyway?
Not 180.
180?
Like you said.
I don't know, we need to get a scale. We got to get a scale out. Is he wet or not? All right, so what we're going to do, Cruz, we're going to put a minute up on the clock. John and I are going to hit you with some questions. Answer them as well as you can. If you answer mine correctly, then we'll make sure there's a prize for you. Get his wrong. Something. We just don't want John to be right anymore.
Okay.
All right, going on. Minute on the clock, and here it is. I'm going to start first. Big hit on defense or a touchdown on offense?
Touchdown on offense, for sure.
Glory boy.
One word to describe your coach.
Crazy.
All right, homecoming or hanging out with the guys?
Hanging out with the guys.
Don't tell your homecoming.
Mark or John?
It's a tough one. Both.
Me getting your name right and you don't score, or me getting your name right and you score?
I have to say, getting my name right and I don't score because you call me my dad's name. I mean,
that's a little tough, isn't it?
Well, that's a negative for Mark. All right. Which is better, Frodo Leyba or Cruz Baggins?
we gotta support the last name, Frodo Leyba.
All right. Frodo Leyba. Yeah. Going with the haircut or the moppy fro that you got going on?
Moppy fro, of course.
All right. You're gonna go
flip-flops or high heels?
High heels, of course.
Beating Union big or a close game against Snow Canyon?
Beating Union big for sure.
It's the Basin Bowl.
Yes.
There you go. Well done in the Basin Bowl. It's fun to watch.
Thanks
for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us on the Sports Spin, presented by the UNA Basin Healthcare, health and healing, every person, every time. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll see you next week.